My name is Daniel, this is Angel, and this is Mile Pacers. Today we're going to review from each generation the Nike 4%, Vaporfly 4%, the Nike Alphafly Next Percent, and the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent. And today we're going to see which one is best for us, in our opinion, which one would we prefer, and in the long run, which one would we continue to run in after we retire it from running. To start, we can look at the Nike 4%, which is what it started out with, the ZoomX foam midsole. It has a Flyknit upper, and it's very flexible, it's very breathable, and when you place your foot in, you feel it very snug. However, for some people, you might find it to be a little bit too harsh and rubbing against the side of your arc. If that might be the case, this could be a shoe that could bother you for some. However, I found it to be a nice fitting upper with that Flyknit upper, very breathable in my opinion, has a good snug feel, and with that full length ZoomX foam, I definitely feel a good cushioning and responsive feel coming off of my foot. Now, of course, this has a carbon fiber plate in it, and it's very rigid, so to me it has a very responsive spring coming off of your stride, as well as carbon rubber for the outsole, exposed rubber on the bottom as well. That carbon rubber on the outsole, I think it's gonna be extremely durable and last you hundreds and hundreds of miles after your race and you retire it from racing. So this shoe is going to last you in the long run. After you retire it from racing, you could definitely use it as a trainer for your tempo runs. Now, my ratings for the 4%, I give it a 7 out of 10 for the Flyknit upper. I think it's breathable, I think it's stretchable, and it has a nice snug fit on my foot, and it gives me a pretty good lockdown. The only thing that I'm concerned about is the heel counter. It's a little bit of a weird fitting from the outside, or the inside of the heel counter. The plush isn't really fully locked down on my heel. Kind of feels like my heel is slipping out of the shoe a little bit. However, for the other part on the forefoot and the midfoot, it gives it a pretty good lockdown in my opinion. The ZoomX foam is holding out pretty well. It still has a very nice responsive feel with that carbon fiber plate. You're gonna get that spring off. So for the midsole, I give it a 8 out of 10. ZoomX is ZoomX, and it's an awesome foam, and it's gonna continue to remain an awesome foam in the Nike lineup. And to end it off with the outsole is a carbon rubber outsole. That is extremely durable, and it's going to last miles and miles. And like I said, after you retire it from racing, it's going to last you miles into your training. You can use that as a tempo running or a higher pace run, and that carbon rubber is going to last hundreds of miles. It's a really good rubber, and I give it a 10 out of 10.
Next shoe here would be the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent. Starting off with the upper, we do have a woven mesh upper. Going down to the midsole, it is the infamous ZoomX midsole. And in the outsole, we do have some rubber in the forefoot, and also 2 little strands here in the heel of high abrasion rubber, with an exposed midsole here as well located in the outsole. So when it comes to kind of grading the shoe here, we actually did grade the upper woven material in terms of just the fit, the total lockdown feel, the heel feel. In terms of toe box spacing, we did rate it as a 6. To be honest, this is a very narrow shoe with a material that's very hard to expand when your shoe's inside, and kind of even running a couple miles. It seems like the upper material does not yet expand to the toe box of the shoe, giving it a very tight, narrow feel. So it's not really, I would recommend, not really the best for wide runners in my opinion. Even I do have a narrow foot, I would say myself, it still provides that tight feel, which I could say for marathon running, the best a nice tight feel is what kind of is best preferred. But for some people, this could be a little bit of a painful upper material when it comes to it being very narrow and very tight, so it really doesn't expand. In terms of the midsole, at ZoomX, we did rate it as an 8 out of 10. Just knowing that the stack height does actually play a part where it does, we could just kind of go in the long run here. It could last a couple of miles running in it. As well, in terms of the outsole we actually did rate it as an 8 out of 10 as well. Just having that forefoot rubber, we kind of see is that type of foam rubber actually, and it is actually quite nice as well with the two strands in the bottom, high-abrasion rubber. Knowing that high-abrasion itself does last a long time, the forefoot rubber, we're probably going to see that is probably going to wear off a little bit more quicker than the two high-abrasion rubber stands in the heel of the outsole. And so overall, that will be the score for the upper, the midsole, and also the outsole. Midsole, once again, just kind of also playing a part in terms of durability. Since we kind of also just play a role with the outsole, kind of go hand in hand with each other. That's what I forgot to mention. It does have a carbon fiber plate in between the midsole of the shoe, so it does have a little propulsion of moving forward in a fast-paced shoe, especially a marathon shoe. And that would be the overall score for those three categories of the Nike Vaporfly Next%.
Finally, with the 2020 Alphafly Next%, that was ran by Eliud Kipchoge in the sub 2 hour marathon, where he got the sub 2 hour marathon of 1 hour 59 minutes and 40 seconds. This is a wonderful shoe. I can't say enough good things about it. The stack height is amazing for cushioning and a bouncy feeling. You have a wider platform from the heel to the forefoot, which gives it better stability for a lot of runners that have neutral issues and they need stability shoes. This could be a racing shoe for you guys. I say this is a racing shoe for many runners out there. It has that wide platform for both the heel and the forefoot. It has new technology that's very interesting. The upper is an upgrade from the Flyknit. We're looking at Atom Knit upper that is steamed and stretched, so it can give a better comfort feeling and a lightweight, more breathable feeling as well. So you're gonna have a lightweight upper, very breathable. The lockdown is amazing with these new, I would say, teeth-like shoelaces. And what they do is, as you tying it, it kind of locks in place each pull you make on that upper. So it gives you a very nice lockdown. Has a very plush heel counter, but has a slightly plush heel counter, and it has no rubbing. It doesn't rub against your Achilles. It feels really nice on foot. The Zoom X is, like I said, way more cushion, higher stack heights. That Zoom X on the heel and the forefoot is phenomenal. It gives you a very nice plush cushioning feeling. However, because it's Zoom X, it's also very bouncy. You're looking at a very wide and just a big carbon fiber plate, a very wide carbon fiber plate, the biggest carbon fiber plate found in any running racing shoe in the market as of date. And this carbon fiber plate, it's stretched out from the heel all the way down to the forefoot, and it has new technology, which is going to be the Zoom AirPods. As you can see here, it has two Zoom AirPods, a dual Zoom AirPods, and what that's going to do is going to provide an extra responsive bounce, a more springy effect. So this shoe is very bouncy. We can think about a trampoline almost. Every step you take, it feels like you're just bouncing off the ground. That carbon fiber plate really pushes you and springs you off the ground. So this is a win-win. I think it's an upgrade from the Flyknit from 4%. It's an upgrade from the woven mesh upper on the Vaporfly. It's definitely a shoe that it's going to be for your long runs and your trainings, for your tempo runs or right before your marathon races. It's definitely a marathon shoe. You can even use this for smaller races and shorter races. I mean, this is a shoe that I would take out for every race if I could. I would. But this is definitely a shoe that, with that Atom Knit upper being very breathable and light, the Zoom X foam, which is very wide on the heel, very wide on the forefoot, those dual AirPods, Zoom AirPods that provide an extra response, extra springiness, and more bounce effect on that. This is a shoe that's going to be meant for almost every runner out there. You're definitely going to enjoy the Alphafly Next%. The upper, I give the upper a 10 out of 10. This Atom Knit upper is amazing. With it being steamed, it kind of feels like it's form-fitted. It feels like it's meant for my foot to be in there. It's amazing. It's a really nice Atom Knit upper. It's pretty much like a net almost, and it's really nice. It has a good lockdown on the midfoot and the forefoot. It has a really nice heel counter as well. The midsole is Zoom X. It has a lot of Zoom X foam because it's a lot wider platform. I give it a 10 out of 10. And the outsole, with it having its new traction pattern on the heel, being a little bit of a more Zoom X foam like higher abrasion foam rubber. It's okay. It has a lot more. I feel like it's a lot longer than the Vaporflies, so I think the durability on that outsole is going to be pretty decent. So overall, this is a great shoe, and if it were me and I'd pick any shoe, I would pick the Alphafly Next% for my races. I would definitely pick this shoe out, and it's a shoe that if you want to go out and enjoy and have fun in your run, you're gonna have fun in this shoe. It's gonna be a fun shoe to run in, and you're definitely gonna be able to, I would say you're gonna definitely get some PRs with this shoe. You're gonna get some PRs, you're gonna enjoy your runs, and I would take this out on your races. This is definitely a shoe I would take out to on my races. However, in the long run, for longevity wise, I do think that this is gonna retire quite early because of all the technology that's built in there. Each technology has a separate lifespan. For the Zoom AirPods, I don't know if that's gonna last much longer past such and so miles, just because of it being air inside of there, and it could easily pop. People have had Zoom Air Pockets pop, and the springy effect starts to lose its bounciness effect. It has that carbon fiber plate, of course, throughout the runs. Carbon fiber plates become less and less rigid, and the Zoom X foam starts to compress and die out a little bit. I say a shoe that has the longest longevity for me is going to be the 4%. It has a carbon rubber on the bottom. The Zoom X foam is lower stack height, so I feel like that compression is going to take a lot longer and more runs to compress it down. So for me, I think the shoe that I would continue running in would be the 4%. For racing, I'll pick the Alphaflies. It's an awesome shoe. I enjoy running in it. But for my training and my tempo runs, I would take out the 4%. And the 4% is definitely a shoe that I would take out on my training runs. But for me, the pick on which shoe here on the lineup of each different year of iterations of marathon shoes with that Zoom X foam is going to be the Alphafly Next%. It will be Alphafly Next%, 4%, and then Vaporflies. Controversial, but I just really enjoy the 4%, and I enjoy how it's very durable. That Flyknit upper is very nice as well. Very comfortable lockdown on the top of my foot. I really didn't enjoy so much the Vaporfly. It just might not be for my foot and my running gait. However, I would choose the Alphaflies, then the 4%, and ending with the Vaporflies. But my winner and my pick for this versus would be the Alphaflies. It's definitely a really good shoe, and it's a fun shoe to run in, and it's a fast shoe as well.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, I totally agree. It's spot on, exactly everything you mentioned. Some exact same thing that I would say. Alphafly, #1 pick. Vaporfly, the 4%, durability wise, taking the long run. The Vaporflies, it's just more so just the upper fitting thing that kind of puts it in that third place spot, to be honest. Very tight fitting, not really for my preference and taste. Especially for him, knowing that he has a wider foot than mine, right off the bat, he knows that it's not the best fitting for his preference as well. But that Alphafly, it's just a fun shoe, and same thing, spot on, hitting the nail. Same scale as well, from rating 1 for the Alphafly, 2 for 4%, #3 for the Vaporfly.
Well, there you have it. You have a little bit of a comparison, a little bit of a versus, just our opinion on what we feel is better for us in our runs, our long runs, our races, and what we enjoy to run in. It's the Alphafly, it's the 4%, it's the Vaporfly. These are all awesome shoes. These are all on the market. You can still find the 4% even on discounts. You can find the Alphaflies right now. They are available on a couple websites, and you can still find the Vaporflies out there too. These are great shoes, and these are shoes that I do recommend that you guys give a try. Maybe take it out on a race, take it out on a long run, test your speed. You're definitely going to break some records. I believe in any one of these shoes, and you're gonna enjoy it. So that's it for our review / comparison / opinions, and we'll see you, and stay tuned for any other videos coming soon.